President was so impressed with the work that you guys did and put in for the Independence Day celebration and what it meant for the country and what it continues to do for the country. And he, in his vision, knowing exactly where he wanted this event to go, and shared with me the vision, and I shared with our creative directors and Andrew and the team at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, shaped the overall direction of the program that led into our very special creation that many of you started months ago, working many, many days and nights until in the wee hours of the morning at times. Some of you very frustrated, not sure whether we're going to be able to make it to the end, but it shows you how important it is when you make it to the end, seeing the collective vision and having that collective effort and in showing what it created. When you look back at the video, and I'm sure every single one of you would have looked back at the video, sometimes maybe about 5 or 10 times. And Andrew said some of us about 20 times. I know Alana has done it maybe far more than that. It's because you felt the magic. When you looked at it again, you wanted to relive that magic. That magic stretched across the entire country, where people from all different counties, as some of you are here from different counties, all of you participated in creating that magic of uniting the country for that moment and forever once we continue to do this. I have the pleasure of inviting you to share in this occasion. It's not often that you get an invitation from His Excellency the President, and we had that very special moment when the rain came down and His Excellency led the way in sharing with you in the rain, soaked to the bone, feeling the spirit, or if I can use Nikita's words in her song, feeling the vibe. I have the pleasure of introducing somebody who cares deeply about our Guyanese culture and what it means for the people of the country and where we want to take it. And he will share with you as well the bigger vision and how it is that you are going to play very important roles as we continue to make Guyana the premier capital or regional destination for outstanding events. Thank you very much, folks.
Good afternoon, all. Just to reiterate what Minister Ramson has said, that Guyana, we are special and unique in that we are such a melting pot. We honor and respect each other's religions or culture. We enjoy and we eat each other's foods. And I don't want us to take that kind of thing for granted. It's, in different countries, there's not always that celebration of our differences, and we want to continue to build on that. That is our strength, our culture, our melting pot, the fact that we have festivals from different parts of the world. It reflects where we were from, where our ancestors are from, and that is truly what the One Guyana is about. All these different races, mixes, and cultures, and coming together in a true celebration of who we are. And you hear, the pundits singing Christian songs and the Muslims singing Hindu songs, some of the things that that is just so ingrained in us that we take for granted. And we want to continue celebrating this. And you know, we have the unique opportunity of meeting as government with members of the diplomatic corps. There's people who are posted here in Guyana that have never seen or even heard of a place like Guyana in South America until they're posted, many of them. And when they come, they're just so blown away. You know, that one Guyana song, they were just so taken aback. Oh wow, this is really something special. When they come to our festivals and they see our kite flying or they see our Diwali celebrations, you know, it is something that, as the tourism minister, it is something that attracts people to us. It's one of our selling points, that we have all of these people, all of our people, and we want to continue celebrating that. And we really can't celebrate this big melting pot and this one country that we are if we don't start celebrating and respecting each other. And indeed, your presentation on Independence Night was such a resounding testimony of a celebration of our melting pot and of our differences, but still we are one. And we want to continue. I know for sure the President's vision in his heart is to continue building on that we truly emerge as one. Many of us, all of us different and unique, but still one. And that concept, we just really want to see us all buy into, and you, by your art and your gifts, have this unique opportunity to sell that to the wider nation and extra regionally, to be able to sing it, dance it, but you've got to feel it. You've got to feel it in your heart. And there is no place, and I know I'm speaking to the converted because from the way you presented on Independence Night, I know that you believe that the indigenous girls who dance so vibrantly and everyone who was able to share and dance the different drumming and the music, I know you believe that we can truly be one. And I know that we are all happiest when we are celebrating together and when we are really embracing each other as one. So I would leave the rest to the President, but I just want to congratulate you once again. I want us to continue building on this. And when I say building, sharing this magic of the one Guyana with your peers, with your friends, and even as you go on stage, just go on stage with the intention of communicating that even though I'm different from you, we're all alike and we all want the same things. And the thing that binds us all together is love of country, love of each other. And I think it will get us, I know it will take us strides in this nation, the place that we all want to go. As all young people, we're just tired of the divisiveness all around. We see it around the entire world, and I think all of us will make a mark. And through the arts is such an expression, a profound expression of the spirit of oneness and love. And we want to continue embracing that, embracing you as you explore your artistic forms and as you explore and become all that you want to be. We want to continue to support you in that, all with a view for young people seeing themselves, their world, seeing the country first and seeing their world with a totally different view. All right? So it's I will leave you to have the President speak, and thank you once again for all that you're doing, and we continue to look to support you in all of your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Charles and Anais. So we have two ways in which we can do this. I have a lot of things to tell you, but I'm sure you have a lot of things that you want to say too. So we can do it two ways. Would you like me to listen to you first? I would love to listen to you first. Or would you like me to say some of the thoughts I have, and then we take the conversation forward? In a true democracy, it goes to the vote. So what do you prefer? Huh? What are you doing? Well, let me come down here. I feel it's too high up here. You can't have a conversation from so high. Hey. I've been following entertainment in this country for a very long time. I don't know if many of you know, but when I was Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, we launched Guyana's first Guyana Festival. I brought back all the artists that we had from across the world in Guyana, and we had a wonderful festival. I think it was 3 nights of Guyanese culture. Everything Guyanese, 100% Guyanese. And that was what we had. Then, subsequent to that, we had sport festival, cricket. A lot of work we did with football and cricket and so on. So, 2 important people are up on stage there, because the conversation I want to have with you is one in which I want to recruit all of you. Because the One Guyana goal can be accelerated with you, all of you here today. You have the passion, you have the emotions, you have the expression, and you have a stage that is essential in pushing this One Guyana. And I know Samuel, I think it was 1 a.m. in the morning when you asked me to meet with a few of you. And I said, we will meet. Because this conversation was supposed to happen just after the budget. You know, in the budget, we returned $100 million for the development of artists and for the development of your industry. We have set aside that money. But we have to find an approach where not an individual win. We have to find an approach where all of us in this industry are going to win. For that to happen, it requires all of us to work together. Many times you see in even the most developed industry, everybody starts from one position, and then when somebody arrives, the rest are left behind. That is not what I want to build. What I want all of us to build is a unique product, a Guyanese product, a product in which you would all look out for each other and we'll all advance together. Yes, there will be competition. That is life. There will be some who gets there faster than the other. But the fact is, the objective must be about building a sector. You have to see yourself as a sector, as an industry, as an important part of the diversified economy you want to create. You know, I was speaking to Marshall a month ago, and I said to him, I want you to help me. And what I want you to do for me is to take my artists to the international stage. I know they have the talent. I know you guys have the talent. But you need that push, that extra set that can really move us to the international stage. But I've been reflecting, and I think that one of the important things really is heart. And you're showing that you have the heart. So what can we do? How can we work on an approach that we get the low-hanging fruits whilst we pursue the higher fruits? Because we can't pursue the higher fruits if we don't have the low-hanging fruits. We have to identify what are those low-hanging fruits. And over the weekend, I was in Barbados for 1 day to have some meetings with Prime Minister Motley. And I said to her, I would like us to have an artist exchange. You give me an opportunity to put my artists on your stage at Crop Over or at any national event, and I'll give you an opportunity to put your artists on my stage. And it was an overwhelming response from her. Because I believe that once you get the opportunity to go on a stage where you have thousands of tourists at Crop Over, will give you the opportunity that you need. The Minister of Tourism is working now with the cruise liners. And one of the things I want her to work with the cruise liners is to see how our artists can be a part of their entertainment program, how we can go there and get there. But for that to happen, as a country, we have to provide a platform for you. We have to provide a platform for you. That is why I said in this cricket carnival that is coming, I want a night dedicated to Guyana night. And that night belongs to you. My friend here, and I say friend because he worked with me for many, many years at the ministry. He would tell you, we used to work on every single holiday, every single culture. We used to celebrate with the ministry. At one time, they used to call it the Ministry of Culture and Housing. But the thing is, how do we create, and let me be very frank with you. I want you guys to sit down and come up with a world-class program. You'll come up with a budget. You will come up with the best songs, the best beat. You will come up with the best anybody have ever seen in entertainment in this Guyana night. I want you to come up, and we have the other guys who are not here today. You have to include them. But what I want is a stage that sells Guyana, promote Guyana, promote you, and advance your careers. So once you do this right, and you're able to build a Guyana night that is just simply unbelievable, we're going to send this across every single network in the Caribbean. We're going to send this across every single network in the region. And then we are going to build this unique One Guyana platform. And we're going to work on going into the diaspora. We're going to work with the diaspora and taking this platform to London, taking this platform to the US, taking this platform to Toronto, taking it to Miami, and taking it through the Caribbean. But the platform must be so powerful that people want it to go there. So that's the first low-hanging fruit that I wanted to talk to you about. And this is in your hands, all the talent here. You guys have to sit down. You have to learn to work together. You have to learn to fight on different ideas, but at the end of the day, it is the best idea for the platform that must come out as the winner. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, how do we design a competition between now to the end of August? Charles, I know you're working on this already, right? Where we can have 10 persons who we identify as low-hanging fruits that we can take to another level. As I said, we want everybody there, but some will be a bit more ready than others. How do we identify them? And then how do we build institutionally a product that will take them there? If we need to bring in a consultant for a month, if we need to bring an international artist for a month to work with them, how do we do this? How do we do this? And that is some of the things I want you to talk to me about. How do we also take the culture, the One Guyana platform and stage, to every single community? What are the top priorities you want to see in this industry now? You tell me. As you see it, what are the 3 top priorities you would like me to invest in to help this industry? As you have noticed, every single event we have, we are trying to push the local culture, local talent. Whether it's an official state dinner, we have incorporated a show into the dinner. All of this is done because we believe strongly in what we have. So you can tell me what you would like to see done. Then I know that many of you also have to balance work with what you do because you still have to earn. So you may have a very talented person amidst us who cannot pursue that talent because of economic circumstances. Let us identify those persons and let us work with them. And I'm promising you that we are willing to work with them so that they can pursue their talent. We want, but I don't want to be the one doing this. That is why I call all of you. I want you to identify. I want you to tell me. If it is, I know, Charles, you launched the grant last year, and some persons are already doing things because of that grant. But if we can have a company that is owned by the artists of Guyana, that is in agriculture, that is in livestock production. Now it sounds appealing sometimes when I'm telling you. It's a business model that you can win with. Then we can make things sustainable in the industry. We can make things sustainable in the industry. So, as it is now, taking out the $25 million for the literature prize, we can easily have $70 million, $5 million for other stuff that you have to plan for, that we're going to work with to the end of the year. And other initiatives that you may have, that you want to see. Like we have, I heard my friend here, you did all this song track. How is it we can develop our studios so we have the best possible song effect? So we have the best possible studios for recording. Where the gap is, what investment is needed in that gap? How do we fill that gap? How do we ensure that we make it affordable for everyone to come to your studio and be able to do to record? How do we do that? How do we ensure we get the youngsters from Karasabai or wherever they are, from any part of Guyana, how do we bring them into this discussion and to bring them as part of this journey? I call it a journey. So I want really us to stop looking at ourselves in this sector as just a performer. That must come out of our thinking today, from today. We are part of the change that the country so badly needs in moving the One Guyana agenda. See yourself as part of a big national goal, as part of a team that goes to the Olympics to win gold, but you're doing something even much greater in my mind. You are working on a platform that will bring Guyana together. So today I just wanted to start this conversation with you to see how we can help. As I said, the first order of business is the Guyana Carnival, your platform, your stage, one night. Then we are hosting a regional night. In that regional night, we must dominate it. We must dominate it. We must have the type of talent that we can go on a regional night and we can dominate. We're not going as a sideshow. We're not going as an add-on. We must go there to blow people's minds with our performance. That is the type of attitude we will develop. So there's a regional night. And then from among ourselves, we'll have to identify somebody who will go to the international night. Or a few persons who can go to the international night. As I said, I'm willing to work with you to ensure that we may not have all the resources, but to ensure we have resources to drive us forward. And importantly, I'm going to launch a special initiative with the private sector so that we can raise resources based on what priority you identify. So I may not be able to say to you, I can do everything you raised today. But I want to listen to you and to see what are the areas you believe requires investment, what are the areas you believe we have some weaknesses in that we need to strengthen. And don't only tell me that, also if you have solutions and ideas that you want to put on the table. If there is something bigger that you are seeing that you would like to propose, then this is the time to propose that. The month of September, you must be busy in entertainment. The month of September, from the airport to I've already called in. Onesh, we have spoken to every single entertainment facility in Guyana. And we have made it very clear to them that the month of September belongs to Guyanese entertainers. And every single. Samuel, you bring, for example, if I use you as an example, you bring a unique product. You bring a unique product. But you have other people here who also can add to that product. How is it that we can become, we can host? Let us explore it. Can we demonstrate to the world that we can host maybe one of the greatest gospel festival ever to be held anywhere? How do we include, how do we get the churches from across the world to be part of it? How do we show them that we can develop a product that is different? We may be behind the line. And let me tell you very frankly, the Cricket Carnival is designed to shorten the time to catch up with the Trinidad Carnival and all these other carnivals. We can't compete with them on matrimony after matrimony. We'll never catch up. But we now have a stage to create a new product in which we are bringing the best bands from across the Caribbean, Brazil, Miami, here in Guyana. So it's much bigger than one carnival. And that is what that is how big I want us to think. What can we do to get a festival like that, for example? What are the opportunities in getting that here? Look how many females we have here. Can you imagine if we put on a women's stage, a superwoman stage, one night, and we just advertise it and we bring people in. It's all women, just women entertainment. These are the types of, we can't, you see, for us to win, we can't think straight line. We got to be outside of the box. We got to be different. We got to come up with our own product, a unique product. And we have an advantage to us with us that nobody else got. We can mix soca with samba because we are part of South America. We can mix reggae, soca, and samba. We can mix reggae, soca, chutney, and samba. You imagine that you have 15 minutes of powerhouse entertainment with energy, with all four together. And it's a Guyanese product because it is our product. And then when you add in our cultural Amerindian culture into that, or indigenous culture, you can have a 15-minute segment that is so mind-blowing, you just unimaginable. But it is, Alana is the creative mind, is the creative mind of everyone that would have to bring, and you're seeing it, and I'm confident you can do it because I'm seeing it. Every single show you guys are doing is getting better. You can see the creativity. You can see thinking behind it. You can see thinking behind it. And let me tell you, before I close, this is some of the things I want to discuss with you. I don't want people in this group to be afraid of being Guyanese or ashamed of being. Don't be part of us. Don't be part of us. I see artists from this country go out and would not even acknowledge Guyana, would not even hold the national flag. would not even acknowledge support from the government, would be afraid to say the word government. I'm being very honest with you. I am a very frank person. If I have something to say, I say it in front of you. We have to be proud to be Guyanese. We have to be proud to be on that stage. When we build this one stage, we have to be proud to be on that stage. And for that, we're going to put every single effort in the Guyana night, and every cent revenue we get from that night will go towards you guys. Every single cent. We will put all the investment in, we will put all the advertisement in. All I want you guys to do is put your heart in, put your energy in. We're going to work to get sponsorship for that night. We're going to work to push this night. But I just ask you to put your heart in this. This is the journey that I want us to embark on. You have an excellent man in the ministry here who I have a lot of confidence in. We had some tail wars in the past, you know. You have a young, good, vibrant minister. You have an excellent minister of tourism who is pushing this on the tourism. And you have yourselves, talented people. The sky is the limit. I just wanted this opportunity to tell you that you have a partner that is ready to push with you. I've given you some ideas. Now it's time for you to tell us what you think. All right? Thank you very much.
Mr. President, Minister, Mr. Tyndall, thank you for the opportunity for inviting us here today. This has never been done before. After a performance, the President invited this whole team of everybody here. Never done before. What I want to see for the upcoming event in the Cricket Carnival in September, I'm the visual director for Minister Charles from the Ministry of Culture, and we need way better cameras to display. We have the talent, we need to display it better. We have to have better equipment, better cameras, better drones, all the top-notch equipment so we could capture these people's performances on the world-class stage. If it's world-class we're going to, we have to have world-class equipment.
My name is Kirsty Couchman. I have been given the chance to be a part of this stage, and it was amazing. I want to say that I watched it 100 times, but I would never beat the times that Alana probably watched it. So, apart from that, I have a song for the CPL in my mind, Whirring Around. The team that we worked with, I would want to just jump in right now and we can start production with it if it's suitable and so on. I will give you a call, Jeremy, yes. But I want to just put that out there that even though we're always writing and some of us are scared to say that we wrote a song, don't be scared. This is the chance to come out and say it. So I'm going to take the first step and say that I have a few songs, and Minister Onage took the first step with me for my song, Welcome to Guyana. And I'm proud to say that yesterday I received the full video, and I would love the opportunity to share it with you and everyone when we're finished. Thank you.
Everybody. I'm Christian Sobers, Creative Director at Ministry of Culture. One of the things, Mr. President, that I think is very necessary is Creative Arts Training Institute. That is in place, not just for the novice or beginner level, but for all levels. We're talking pre, mid, and post-production. That way we have artists that are being trained to move up from that novice stage to an intermediate stage and then also to that final stage. I think that once we have that in place, then we can see effective performances at all levels. And we get them started at young ages as kids, just like we saw. Yep. And one of the initiatives that's been started by the Ministry of Culture that really is going in that direction is the Young Writers Program. The song that was performed by the kids was actually written and produced by the kids from the Guyana Talent Search Competition this year.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. President and Minister Ramson, as well as Minister Waldron, and all of the persons here who are willing to push promotion of artists locally, because that's something that artists have always been saying, you know, they're not getting the push, they're not getting the support, so this is really, really great. And as part of the team who performed the night, you know, of course, sometimes we have challenges and we always have to think quickly as to what we're going to do, or the rain is falling and this is happening and so on. But once you put your mind to it, you know that you can always overcome the challenges. Even I was a bit fretful, I have to admit, throughout the whole thing. And I got sick too, but, you know, everything went well. And when I look back, I couldn't believe that, you know, this is what, you know, we did. Everybody did this and so on. Thank you, Mrs. Ramson. What Mr. President said about I think what is needed, and this is in addition to what Mr. Sobers said, I think we need like voice coaches, because so that might be something that the ministry or Mr. President can budget for persons to be trained, because we want to see like how only a certain number of artists could have done, like, for instance, harmony. There are a lot of artists who cannot do that. They cannot just come and sing, yeah, harmonize. They might be able to sing like the main vocals of a song, but if you try to get them to sing, like, for instance, We Are the World, a rendition of a song like We Are the World, they wouldn't be able to put their voices together. So that's something that's very necessary. In the country as a whole, we don't have too many persons doing voice training, and I had the luxury back in my day of being trained by the late Mrs. Edith Peters, and she was very well, you know, she was good in terms of doing voice training. So that's something that's very, very much needed, as well as music teachers, persons there on pianos who can actually set out the notes for the artists. Of course, they would have to be paid too, because they would not want to be working for free if they're involved in a specific national project like what we are embarking on, and for it to be of the standard that the Caribbean and the world would want to see. A big choir, like how the children did they put their voices together. I think they had somebody training them. So we would need lots of persons like that. The voice, somebody might have a nice voice, but singing in the backup singers as well as the lead singers are very, very important. Excuse me, I still have a cold from the last weekend. So the main vocalists as well as the backup singers are all very important when you have songs being put together in studios, so that a lot of the times what the studio depends on is the little computer auto effects, excuse me, the auto effects to try to fix that song, which takes up, I'm sure they would tell you, a lot of time. So somebody training constantly on the scene all the time, training these persons is very, very important. And that's my contribution. I'm very happy that this is happening, and I'm very happy as well to be part of it. Thank you so much.
One of the issues I think we've faced over the past few months of productions is audio and video. One of the main things that has been an issue was having enough audio equipment to support the level of production we actually want to put out. And I think if we invest in having our own stuff, our own equipment, our own lights, our own stage, and all the necessaries, it'll make everything that we need to do a lot easier. A lot of times we sit as a team and we want to do so many things, and we're barred by, we don't have this in Guyana, or this is too expensive to get in, or it's just too technical. So if we have our own stuff, I think we can make these productions. Like Sion mentioned before, we're going to the world stage. We're gonna need world stage equipment, you know, to support all of that. And if we can add to that the training for the persons to run the engineering, run the lights, run the sound and everything, then we're set.
What I would like to add is what I think that can be done. We have some of the premier producers in Guyana, as well as in the Caribbean. We have the producer for Mocha Mocha here. I myself would have worked with some international artists, and I think what we can do is offer services that are, I guess, in some way subsidized by the government to help these young people come into studio and be able to record at any time. Because access to studio is one of the toughest things, and then having the right equipment in studio to be able to give the quality that they would be looking for. I mean, there's so much we can do with what we have, and so far it sounds good, but there's a lot more that we can do. And having one studio alone, I mean, we have studios as well here. If we get some assistance, we can definitely make this vision, your vision, a reality in terms of the quality that you're looking for. Thank you very much.
Music industry, and the technical persons. But I'm sure we have persons here from the dance industry and from other aspects of the arts, and we'd like to hear from you as well. Oh, I just saw a hand.
Mr. President, honorable ministers, good afternoon. I am from the National Dance Company, and I must say it's an honor working with all of the other artists. You hearing me clearly now? Okay. It has been an honor working with all of the other artists, and I must say, the takeaway from the event was something that we haven't had in a very, very long time. So most of us, especially the dancers, would have been in the dance industry for many years. I've been in the dance industry for over 20-something years. We have been under the tutelage of Ms. Daniels for a very long time. And leading up to what you would have seen requires a lot. It requires a lot of preparation, pre, during, and post. So, for example, when we had the finale, we could have made a different decision, which is to not go in the rain, not complete, obviously, for whatever reasons. Okay, listen, I don't want to get wet because I may get sick. For example, she would have gotten sick. But the hype that we would have gotten and the hype that we normally have as dancers would have encouraged us to continue regardless of the weather, regardless of some of the fears that I know some of the fellow performers would have had prior to marching on for the end. I must say thank you very much. We would have enjoyed that piece. I am somebody who likes to look at the future. So some of the things I would like to be considered, and I'm speaking on behalf of most of the dance company members, and I'm going to capture everything for our director, I'm not sure. If more can be invested, for example, costuming, very, very important. So you cannot get an image unless we are able to invest in costumes. What you would have seen is from the creation of our director, where she takes what we have and she makes it work. So a lot of what we would have worn have been there all of the time, and we just try to create something new with it. So I would like to take you, for you to take that into consideration. Costuming is very, very important. Another thing would be if at some point in time in the future we can also restart something that we would have done years ago, which is be given the opportunity to do some more dance training, whether it is to bring persons from outside or for the company to have the ability, the opportunity rather, to travel and to embrace the cultures. For example, President said, okay, we can fuse samba and soca. Samba and soca musically is beautiful with chutney. However, the technicality of doing a samba, a lot of persons are not aware of that. It's a technique, and it's something that is usually taught from very young ages, 4 or 5. So we would need to have that kind of training, exposure to the different cultures within the Caribbean, if we're going to think about taking the dances on an international stage. And I can use an example, for example, Belize. And I can remember when we would have gone to Carafesta many years ago. I would have had the opportunity of seeing the indigenous folk group from that country. The richness and the execution, it was mind-blowing to me. And I was pretty young then. I was just a teenager then. And those are things that we also need to consider. So I'm saying this not just for the dance company, but I'm saying this culturally. Maybe if we can have a little more cultural exchange in dance, I think it will help to add to what we have, if this is the direction we would like to go in. Thank you.
Good afternoon, President, Minister Ramson, Minister Warren. My name is Katusha Fraser. I was the vocal coach and the conductor for the choir for the event. Mr. President, your speech was very inspiring, and that gave me the courage to pick the microphone to speak. But I did right because my English, my messed up. Messed up. I was naturalized in 1992 in London. I married a Guyanese, and I lived in Guyana for 10.5 years. Oh, sorry about this. And I cannot agree more that Guyana is a beautiful country, full of natural resources. Not only the natural resources, but actually the talent, the people talent. My husband always boasts how wonderful, how great Guyana is. And these 10 years I live in Guyana, I experienced that. My special area is in vocal training, but in classical area. But I do try to sing some jazz, and but I can't sing R&B, as Abel can do. So I wouldn't boast that. But what I want to say is I would like to use this precious opportunity, Mr. President, to say a few things. School choir is an area of need in Guyana. There is no school choir culture in Guyana, yet choral music is one of the most direct way of making music. We are behind other countries of the region, like Jamaica and Trinidad, which I know quite well because I lived there and been there before. And Trinidad has a celebrated national choir with the youth division. I see the benefit, the investment in this revitalizing the choir culture in the school. The benefits are it ignites music education and appreciation. It's a celebration of collective voices across racial lines. Youth engagement, built self-esteem, physical and emotional welfare, broaden musical performance horizons for the entire country. Last and most important, potential to showcase Guyana on the international stage through participating in music festivals across the region in North America, South America, and if we are so good, we can ride over the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and reach the Far East. Every year we have these two occasions, at least Republic Day and Independence Days, that the choir has to sing a national song, which is very important. I'm sure all the other items, all the other singing are equally important, but this item to sing the national song is also very important. So for example, this time when I was preparing the children on stage to line them up, they were whispering under their breath and they said, Mrs. Fraser, I'm nervous. Mrs. Fraser, I'm nervous. Mrs. Fraser, I'm cold. Mrs. Fraser, I can't sing. I can't open my voice. I'm nervous. So the reason for that is because their lack of stage practice. Like me, now I have a lot of butterflies in me because I don't speak like this in this occasion, right? So I have a lot of butterflies. So I understand them. I just have to feel their feeling, but encourage them to just pull it through with the best of they can, right? And during the rehearsal, during the practice, I'm sure people had heard that they did excellent, better than the night. But because of lack of experience, their nerves, the performance are actually discounted. And I was sad about it, but I have to accept it. So I would love to see, with this administration, we can put back choral culture back into the school. And the other benefit in the long term is through this, we will find the training, the classical, the voice has to train with the classical way, and then they can diverse it. I never used to sing jazz or sing like that when I way back home. But when I came to Guyana, I try to sing some jazz, right? But I can't belt, so I can't compete with Abel then, right? And the rest excellent singers there. So I'm sorry. And the other thing is, Mr. President, I think it is also very important if we have a national choir, that when there is any international event and we have a choir, trained choir, to execute our national anthem with precision and pride. When I traveled to Jamaica at the immigration, at the Trinidad at the immigration, I do feel a little short. And I don't see why I should feel like that. So I would love to see Guyana back to the international stage, and with the national choir, we will bring back the national pride with the rest. Thank you very much.
Dear, excuse me, head table, it's a pleasure to be here. Everybody, congratulations. Hard work pays off, right? But I'm with you guys, the work had just started. My name is Jaime Mayers. They call me Suru on stage. For those who don't know, I'm a spoken word poet. I want to speak a little bit about spoken word poetry and what it did for me and my vision for spoken word poetry. And I'm hoping that obviously I'm a Guyanese, my vision can be incorporated into this country, because that's what I want to do. Spoken word helped me to find a vision of myself, as well as understand the important role that I play, not just in my country, but in the world as a human being. We all are teaching each other in some way or the other. Why am I talking about teaching and spoken word poetry? I agree. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. Miss Fraser. Yes. I agree with Miss Fraser when she says we're behind in some ways. I spent some time in Trinidad and I noticed something very powerful, and I try to mirror it here, but my challenge is, funding and working together. Spoken word poetry is used as a tool to create credible messengers, one, and two, create behavioral change starting from school, as well as tell stories. So what I learned in Trinidad, and I do here, which as in Poetry on the Stool, like we did a workshop in a few schools, bishops, we worked with Roses, incorporating gender-based violence through poetry, repeating messages and behavioral change through poetry. And what I learned when I was in Trinidad was the importance of telling your story, but from a credible standpoint. I believe if we train spoken word poets here, it's simple. It's not as hard as you may think. It's just getting the information and then understanding the skill of writing and performing. We can tell a story of our nation, of our people, throughout the diaspora, internationally. And we can start it from as young 6, 7 years old. I'll tell you why. I saw the example again in Trinidad, where they had this thing called normal, not normal. In Trinidad, you walk up to a Trinidad, they say, how you doing, boy? You good? Yeah, normal. But the culture in their neighborhoods was violence, was drugs. But to them, that's normal. But that's not normal. We don't want to accept that. What they did is they went into the schools, they talked about these issues that were affecting their neighborhoods as well as the young people, and they allowed them to talk their story, but also speak about the change they want to see. After a period of time, you give these young people the chance to express themselves like that and tell their story. They feel the responsibility to not just be the example, but be the change that they feel so desperately. I believe spoken word poetry can be incorporated into music, into dance, into video, and more so into the hearts, the souls, and the minds of this beautiful country. Thank you so much.
First things first, big up to Minister Ramson. No, real big up. And I say that because before this sitting Ministry of Culture decided to tackle culture, a lot of boys in this country never knew that they could make money off of the craft. A lot of us are eating because of it. I want to say boys, I mean boys to just everybody in the arts industry. Yeah, we're very grateful for it. When we talk about what we want for Guyana, I think we have to put individual endeavors and individual careers on the back burner, because Guyana is still trying to find an identity in the arts. We could borrow things from all the different countries, but we still don't have our identity. And that is a thing that has to start from the grassroots and come all the way up. The other thing I know for a fact in the arts and in the entertainment is that you have to want it. Because if you don't want it, it could be given to you and it can just blow away fast. And a lot of our artists and aspiring artists don't understand the business of music. So you're immensely talented, but immensely frustrated because you don't see the fruits of what you have honed. And so if we could get training, professional training concerning the business of music, that would be a big, big plus for us. I personally don't believe that the government is totally responsible for somebody's career. If the government helps and pushes, then we are grateful. But if we want sustainability, then we have to push for ourselves and use the tools that are available to us. Yeah.
Yeah, to add to what Sammy said, a lot of times, like the president was pointing out, getting us to that international level or getting us on the stages in Guyana, so that when these foreigners come in, they can hear us. I think, Mr. President, what we need to do is to engage sometimes the radio stations and the TV stations as well. Because as artists, we can produce and we can push. And, we can throw out our stuff on social media and we can, be doing the groundwork for ourselves. But we can only do so much. The radio is what feeds the nation. The TV is what feeds the nation here. And if we can get our music, 90% of Guyanese music on the radio, on repeat, then, all the kids can know it. Just today we were in, I think it was 100.1, doing a radio interview for a song we released, myself, Joel, Tunisia, and a couple of others. And, we were finding out from the kids, because there were some children that came down from Linden, and we were asking them, sing a song that you like, or give us an artist that you like. And everybody is talking about Skeng, and everybody's talking about Skilly Bang, and all of these other people. And, no one mentioned a Samuel Madas. No one mentioned a Calvin Barnett. No one mentioned a Diana or a Tunisia or anything like that, or a Abel. And even when we asked, do you know who is Jomo Primo? The kids, no. All right, cool. Sing us a Calvin Barnett song. No. They don't know. Then I can turn to them now and say, all right, cool. Sing me a Vibes Cartel. Sing me a Skeng. And they know it because the radio is what we're using to feed them. So if we can have our music being fed to them, overload, then that would be a plus as well for us.
Thank you very much.
President, Minister Ramson, Minister of Tourism, audience all. My name is Priya. I'm from Region 2, Essequibo. I would like to thank Mr. President to give Region 2 this opportunity that we had last Wednesday to bring independence to Essequibo. We never had such an amazing event. Rather,
We never had a big event in Essequibo. As Essequibians, we always left behind with culture, even singing, dancing, whatever, art, everything. So I must say I'm very thankful for that. We only dance at small events, and we do not have a dancing school. Rather, we only have like our home. We will do dance classes right there. Presently, I'm pushing from one place to another because we want to invoke into different kind of dancing, not just Indian dancing. We want to do a little hip hop and so forth. Presently, we were at a man there, and you remember we kind of do those kind of dancing at a man there, right? So I'll be very happy if that could be improvised in us to give an opportunity to have a government place rather, to have our dancing school there, because every now and then I get phone calls, more people want to come on board, and we want to produce from Essequibo. We have talent in Essequibo. So I hope that you'll look into that.
What I want to say to Mr. President, thank you so much for recognizing my group. Very much. And when I first called Andrew, when I get a call and say, how did the person get my number? You know, I thought somebody was making joke. So when he explained that Mr. President wants your group to perform at State House, I was like, wow. It was unbelievable to know that Mr. President was watching at my dance group at Culture Center for Indian Republic Day. I guess from there he picked it up and he decided to choose my dance group. However, I want to say that we are from Region 3. We don't have that dance group, but these young ladies who are here, who are taking part with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, are my daughters. I am their mother.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister. Good afternoon, Mr. President. First of all, I want everybody to make some noise for themselves for that amazing performance in Essequibo. Thank you, Mr. President, for providing these platforms for us and everything that you've rolled out in your speech earlier. I think everyone who are here right now is going to benefit from that, and so many people once we get that out in the media and across the country. One area that I think is very pivotal, and I speak for the singers and the artists, when it comes to music, I think we have some really good music producers, videographers that are coming up, putting very good content out there, getting it out on YouTube. I've seen, since the pandemic has hit, we've seen millions of views that has been hitting YouTube and so many platforms. Some training, I think we need some training and some guidance if we can have a workshop set up of how we can get our music and videos monetized. I think it's gonna help a lot of artists to, compensate back for themselves, as well as, keep that art going. They can be able to sustain and keep it going. I think that's an amazing, that would be an amazing venture if we could get into that. And, when it comes back to, the artists, as Samuel and a few other colleagues had mentioned earlier, vocal training, providing platforms where we can have facilities if it's in the different districts. I think we can correlate if we have different, a facility where we could go and practice culture. We can have reviews, if not monthly, quarterly, on how we've been progressing. I think that would be very good. Performance appraisal is very important so that people, once something gets measured, then you know that it gets done. So I think that's very important. But overall, I think it's such a good initiative that you guys are taking, and I'm fully on board. Thank you.
Culture Center doesn't have the facilities. Like he said, we could come together and practice culture. For example, I went there the other day looking for the grand piano, and the grand piano, miss it. Well, it's inaccessible. But if we're talking about collaborations and stuff like that, there has to be a place where the musicians could meet and the singers could meet and anybody in the creative that's open to us. I don't know if we will make it a membership thing so that we keep track of the people who want to be a part of it. But to have instruments and those kind of stuff available to us so that we could make music and be creative, that would be really good.
One of the fastest way of developing your talent is to showcase the talent. You can't showcase it in the cultural center. You're showcasing it for yourself, even in practice. So, you know, in the sporting world, they have something you call spotters. They are paid large sums of money just to go to every village and to spot talent. So in cricket, they will go there and sit down and look at boys bowling, girls bowling, batting, baseball, the same thing. And they will spot those talents and they'll bring those talents up. So what we are trying to do is to create this concept. I have not spoken about it before because we are now creating it. So we're creating the seawalls. As you know, a lot of investment is going there. We're creating the Lamaha embankment. You heard me speak about a whole cultural courtyard that has started. We're now looking at, just for Georgetown alone, Pond Trench Dam. We are launching a project for Pond Trench Dam now that would target all Boys Town and that catchment area. And this is going to go all across the country. In Skeldon, we're doing one on the water. We're planning something in Essequibo, Region 3. And that is for this very reason, creating these spaces. But spaces in which we can also support you going out there. Spaces in which you go out there and you earn, you know, one of the guys spoke about monetizing your talent. But in Jamaica, for example, or let us take St. Lucia. When you come off the cruise ship, there are different, there are some jewelry shops or there are some food courts, and they have entertainers there. And the food courts support those entertainers for being there for the day. So on the seawall, we can't have people getting the revenue. We're not asking them for taxes. All we can say to them is, listen, we want you to put 2% of this revenue into some local artists performing in that area whilst you're out there on Saturday, whilst we create these spaces. So it is thinking outside of the box. So my friend with the spoken word is an excellent idea. How you work with the government and other partners when we do the Pond Trench Dam to get into those communities, develop positive way of life, positive thinking. And that is what we want to do. We don't want to also build white elephants. So you can't build a studio every corner of the country. Now we can examine building studios or investing in studios across different regions. From this budget, I can tell you if that is the priority, I can tell you now we'll do one this year, right? So, and you decide where. And then we build continuously. Then one of the things that I'm sure we have to do and must do, and we're going to take a decision on this on Thursday, remind me on the Asian Cabinet, we are going to identify a space in every region for the dancing, development of the dance industry and culture and arts. We're going to find a building or a space in every single region. And we're going to designate it for that. It will be open, we're going to staff it, we're going to put the security there, we're going to ensure that there are some basic facilities there so we can develop the regional talent. That is what we're going to do. I can tell you that almost immediately. The other thing, well, there's a number of things I'll address. I could try to go through this as quickly as I can. The issue with school choir, excellent idea. This is something that I don't even know if they do Christmas concerts anymore in schools, but there was a time when Christmas concert was something parents and children would look forward to. So maybe you're someone we can talk to in setting up the National School Choir in every school, but we can start it maybe by doing something to ignite interest, by launching a National School Choir Championship. So let's do that for August. Let's launch a National School Choir Championship for August, and we're going to work in the Ministry of Culture to launch just now. But one of the things that this $50,000 will do also is to help you to monetize your talent on YouTube and to have it out there on the social media platform. Like your spoken word talent, we can get that on YouTube. We can create our own YouTube channel or videos, getting into a system, paying the subscription. Those are things we can help you with and we want to help you with. So the National School Choir Championship, youths, we must get youths involved in this. And the only way we can get youths involved is if we create a space for them to be involved. And that is why this requires us investing in creating that space, and that is what we are doing also. Now, showcasing Guyana, that is why I wanted us to start from this carnival, this cricket carnival. So outside of Independence and Republic, we will have one Guyana night, at least for the next 3 years, when we have a captive audience for the Guyana Festival. But more importantly, we must build this to the extent that it becomes a product that people want. People in diaspora must ask for you. They must not ask for, I don't have anything against anyone. I love all Caribbean music. But the first, if you have Guyanese who are holding a show in the Caribbean, they must not say, hey, let's get Kes first. We must give them a viable option, not only in music, but in a stage. We are giving you a production. And that is what I want us to understand. This is much more than an individual talent. This is selling a production that includes music, dance, spoken words, everything. It involves everything. And widening this loop also. Widening this loop to include all those who are not here. And it's not a big industry. From what I heard, it's maybe 250 to 300 persons. It's an easy industry to work with, bringing people together. So now, for the dance company, let's come up with a proposal on how we can do a summer dance program. So we go in every region. You're right. And I always say this, the only way we can get the multi-stage dance performance is we get the talent, if we get the people from the different region. And you can't get that if you don't get the opportunity to bring it in. One of the things that we did when I was Minister of Tourism too, is we launched a Rupununi Music Festival. And it was something completely different. It was music under the stars. So you had people driving up with their forerunner into Region 9 in a hammock and on the Benabs, and you're just singing under the stars. That's it, you know. So the costume investment, those are things we'll look at. Now for this one Guyana, the Guyana night, I already told Charles we'll set aside $10 million for a budget to put out this production. But as I said, we're also going to look for the corporate sector, private sector buy-in and the revenue. Now listen, if we can get 15,000 persons in the stadium, are we going to push it? You guys have to start coming up with the ads so we can start pushing. And you get 15,000 people at $1,000, that's $15 million. I don't know if my math is right. Is it right? I think so. Yeah. So that is $15 million. That's the revenue the government don't want from you. That is what we want to invest back in you. But you have to be part of it. You have to help drive us. You have to market it. When we launch it, the Guyana night, every single person must put it on their Instagram post, on your Facebook post, on your WhatsApp post. You must put it out so that you become part of the marketing, right? Let us get it in every single community. So whilst we will put it out there in the mainstream media, you also need to do that personal marketing. Add your voice in singing, add a little dance to it. Every time you do a practice, put it up. Let's start building the momentum so that you can show them that we can sell out a stage with local talent, a local production, and we're going to help you with that. Well, all the CPL songs and all the other songs, we are willing to support that. We'll work with the guys who already have the infrastructure to see how we can support this. Now, song engineers and technicians, this is a critical area. I am willing to work with Onej. We're going to work on, you know what we did for the hospitality sector? We found one of the top hospitality institute in Canada that is now training the first 200 persons. We're going to train 6,000 people in hospitality. We are willing to work with you in finding an institute or somewhere. We can write to India, they're good at this, in giving us some short executive program, 3 months program for song engineers and technicians, so we can work on that. Equipment and training, well, we touched on that already. The access, now, access to studio, we can either decide, I don't know, what is the cost for an average recording? 8,000? 80,000? 80 to $100,000. And how much recording an average person would have to do to get it right? So all of that is $80,000. $100,000. How much, Samuel? No, in the studio to do recording. Okay, so you have 2 different levels. Okay. All right. So at the intermediate level, all right, about how many persons will record in a year? No. About how many persons, you're in the industry, at the intermediate level would have a recording in a year? About how many songs? Over 100 songs? Yeah, but that one person might record 5 songs. But I'm telling you about persons. How many persons will do recording? 50, 60? I would say about 50. Right, Samuel? And as a professional stage. So you're at a professional level, right? At that, how many persons you will see? 40? About 40, Samuel? Yeah. I'll come to that. So listen, that is $9 million at the cost you're talking about, right? So let us see if we can work on a consortium, because it's volume. Let's record you can and you can do everything at the professional level. Who else has the studio? 2 studios we have in the country, and 3. So we have 3 studios. Samuel, you have 1, right? All right. So here's what I'm going to do. If you do the math, it's $9 million to do all the recording in a year. For the next 12 months, between these 3 studios, we're going to set aside $9 million to do all the recording in the country. So any artist, so the agreement that we'll have between the 3 studios is that any artist turn up at any one of the studios, you must allow them to record. And we're going to share the resources with all 3 artists at one level, right? So is that a fair way of moving forward? Okay. And that is why we build more capacity, right? And this includes you guys from Essequibo, Linden, Barbies. You have to spread the message around. You have to get a list of all those who want to record, and then let's get it out there. Now we have to be conscious too. We can't get everybody who believes they can sing coming in and want to record. Because that is just making a mockery of the system. I would never try to sing, I just can't sing. But I can guarantee you that me and Charles can go out there and handle our own on any cricket pitch. So, but we have to be responsible. You know, I'm trusting you guys to be responsible. Not to have, you know, anyone to just come off the road, hey, I can sing, I want to sing, right? And you know, you spoke about spoken words. Before hip-hop got to what hip-hop is now, which has challenges. Hip-hop was actually, if you look at the history of hip-hop, it was positive storytelling. Yeah, so I can try some talented hip-hop. Yeah. So, and the training, definitely we have to work on a training program. So those are the things I want to address now. The vocal training, yes. But listen, Miss Fraser, where are you working? You're just helping out. That's a, you're the CEO of your house. You cook nice food? You cook nice food? Okay. All right, so I'll invite all of you as soon as my schedule gets a bit lighter, all of you to cook. So we'll have a cooking together session. So listen, so let's now start work on this One Guyana stage for the carnival. I'm asking you to please bring in the orders. I don't want anybody to say that we handpick anyone or we left anyone out, okay? Samuel, make sure. Everybody here, you guys, all of you, if you know somebody with talent, bring them in. We're moving this together, okay? This is not a political stage, this is a One Guyana stage. We are singing for the pride of Guyana, the joy of Guyana. That is what the stage is about. Evoking emotions for Guyana. And that is all we want. That is all we want. So, I want to thank you. So, I want to thank you very much for your time. The ball is now in your court. The ball is completely in your court. Just don't kick it out of play. That's all I'll ask you. Do not kick it out of play. So, I want to thank you, and I look forward to the Guyana night in September. We're going to work with you on selling that night out, and I look forward to it. Thank you very much.